Hello and welcome to this Dr. Ross Maths key skill video on solving a linear inequality. Now we explored in previous videos what inequalities mean. So if, for example, we wrote x is greater equal to 3, that means that on a number line, if we had like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're talking about x, then x could be any number which was at least 3. So x could be 3, it could be 3.1, it could be 3.2, and any number above. And that's what it would look like on a number line. So x could be 4, it could be 5, it could be 100, it could be 3.2, etc. Now to solve a linear inequality is a bit like how we'd solve a normal equation. We just want to get x on one side of, in this case, the inequality rather than an equation. So if we take A, we got 5x minus 3 is greater or equal to 227. Now, just like with equations, we can add something to both sides of the equation, in this case the inequality, or we could subtract something from both sides of the equation. Now, we can also multiply and divide each side by a number. The only restriction is that you're only allowed to multiply or divide by a positive number. If you multiply or divide by a negative number, it actually flips the direction of the inequality, but let's avoid that by doing any division or multiplication by a negative number. So let's think, what's the last thing that happened to x, just like we were solving an equation? X has been multiplied by 5, and then we're subtracting 3 from it. The last thing we did was subtract 3, and therefore we need the opposite. We add 3 to each side. So the plus 3 gets rid of that minus 3, leaving just 5x. We still got the greater equal to. This is not an equation, it's an inequality. Then we add 3 to this, we get 30. And then I said we can times or divide by a positive number, that's allowed. Now x has been multiplied by 5, the opposite is divide by 5. And if I do that, that gets rid of the 5 here, leaving x. And on the right hand side, 30 divided by 5 is 6. So x is any number that's at least equal to, greater or equal to 6. That's the final answer. What about the next one? So B, 6 is less than 4x plus 8. It doesn't matter whether x is on the right or left, it doesn't really matter. So let's do the same as before. We can add or subtract something from each side of the equation. Now let's look at x. X is being multiplied by 4, then we're adding 8. To get rid of the plus 8, we subtract 8 from both sides, the opposite. So 6 minus 8 is negative 2. And the minus 8 gets rid of that plus 8, leaving 4x. And again, I said we're allowed to divide each side of the equation by a positive number. The x has been multiplied by 4, so we divide each side by 4. And then on the right-hand side, dividing by the 4 gets rid of the 4. And minus 2 divided by 4, well, minus 2 over 4 is minus half. So you can put minus half, or if you prefer, minus 0.5. Now, some people like to put the x on the left-hand side of the inequality. So let's look at this. X is greater than minus half. So we write x is greater than minus half. So if you swap the sides that each thing is on, you need to reverse the direction of that inequality. So it's the right way around.